You could have two people, same exact age, 40 years old. One of them gets out of bed in 5 seconds. The other one groans, holds their lower back, and needs 3 minutes just to stand up straight. Same number of birthdays, completely different bodies. So if age isn't really the number on your driver's license, what is it? Hello, health champions. I'm Dr. Elizabeth Monroe, and today we're tackling the single biggest driver of accelerated aging, and it's not what you think. Most people measure age in birthdays, but your real age is your energy, your mental clarity, and how well your body still moves. That's why some people stay vibrant at 80, while others fall apart at 40. Here's the truth. Your body isn't breaking down simply because time is passing. It's breaking down because it isn't getting what it needs. And I don't just mean food, or just exercise, or just sleep. I mean support on every single level your body operates on. Think about your car for a second. Skip oil changes. Never lubricate the joints. Fill it with dirty fuel. Never change the filters. Run it at 6,000 revolutions per minute in first gear on the highway. How long do you think that car survives? Your body is far more resilient than a car. It can adapt for years, even decades. But there's a difference between functioning adequately and functioning optimally. And that gap is exactly what we call health span versus lifespan. You can live to 90 and be sick from 40 onward, or you can live to 90 and stay vibrant the entire way. That's the real goal. Here's something that will change how you see your own body. Look in a mirror right now, or the next time you pass one. 90% of what you're looking at wasn't there a year ago. You replace your gut lining every 3 to 5 days. New taste buds every 10 days. A new layer of skin every month. A new liver every 45 days. Your body isn't a statue. It's a construction site, rebuilding itself constantly. The real question is, how well can it rebuild? That depends on two things: the quality of the parts you give it, and the signals that tell it how to use them. Most people understand the parts: protein, healthy fats, vitamins, but almost nobody talks about the signals. And here's proof those signals matter more than people think. Imagine someone goes to the doctor with knee pain. X-rays show their right knee is worn out, but the left knee, same age, same person, is fine. How is that possible? Because both knees wear down over time, but one was getting the support to repair, and the other wasn't. So accelerated aging isn't really wearing out. It's a failure to repair, caused by a lack of support, a lack of balance, or incomplete support. And there are 3 categories your body absolutely requires support in. Not optional extras, requirements like laws of nature. I call this the Triad of Health: chemical, structural, and emotional. Let's go through each one. Chemical. This is your biochemistry. Eat nutrient-dense, whole, fresh food, meat, vegetables, healthy fats, nuts, things that haven't been heavily processed. Intermittent fasting helps too. 1 to 3 meals in a 6 to 12-hour window balances storage and cleanup. You also need clean air, clean water, and minimal toxin exposure. And because modern soil is depleted, a quality whole food supplement can fill real gaps. On the flip side, nutrient deficiencies, overfeeding on processed foods and seed oils, blood sugar roller coasters, environmental toxins, mitochondrial dysfunction, and gut breakdown all rob your body of chemical support, leading to inflammation, allergies, and fatigue. Structural. This is movement, not just 3 gym sessions a week, constant small motion throughout your day, standing, walking, stretching, taking the stairs. As much as 90% of the signals that keep your brain alive come from movement. Add variety, strength, cardio, flexibility, and you literally build a more resilient brain. But sedentary living, poor posture, text neck, repetitive motion, and disuse, use it or lose it, all shut down that signaling. lose the natural curves of your spine, and you lose the input your brain depends on. Emotional, a sense of purpose, real human connection, time in nature, quality sleep, moments of stillness, meditation, prayer, deep breathing, and learning non-attachment, caring deeply about what matters and letting go of what doesn't. Working against you, chronic stress, loneliness, fear, anger, and constant overstimulation from phones and notifications. Every negative emotion you sit in, guilt, resentment, worry, adds to that stress load. Now here's the piece almost nobody connects. All three of these, chemical, structural, emotional, are regulated by one organ. Your brain, specifically your frontal lobe. 90% of what your frontal lobe does is inhibitory, it turns things off. And there are 4 things it's supposed to dampen: tense flexor muscles that create hunched posture, chronic stress, negative mood, and pain. When your frontal lobe is strong, it's like a bright light, easily dimming all 4. But when it's weak, from poor posture, chronic stress, poor nutrition, lack of movement, it's like a dim bulb that can't shut anything off. The result: tense, hunched posture, chronic stress hormones, mood swings, and amplified pain, which then feed back and weaken the frontal lobe even further. This is why posture matters so much for your brain, not just your back. Your head weighs about as much as a bowling ball, and the joints in your neck generate the majority of the signals telling your brain where your body is in space, what's called proprioception. Lose your neck curve, lose that signal, and your frontal lobe gets weaker. It's a cycle. Let's clear up a few myths. Myth number 1. Aging is just inevitable. There's nothing you can do. False. Inevitable decline assumes your body has no say in the process, but your body rebuilds 90% of its cells every year. The quality of that rebuild is largely in your hands. Myth number 2. If I just fix my diet, I'll stop aging fast. Also false. I've had people tell me, I ate a carrot once and it didn't work. Nutrition alone can't compensate for a sedentary, high-stress life. You need chemical, structural, and emotional support together, not one piece in isolation. Myth number 3. Vagus nerve stimulators are the fix for chronic stress. Not so fast. Your sympathetic, your gas pedal, and parasympathetic, your brake, nervous systems are designed to work together. When danger passes, your frontal lobe naturally turns off the gas, which automatically lets the brake re-engage, artificially stimulating the brake while your body still thinks it's in danger. Gas pedal still down can actually overwork the system rather than resolve the underlying stress. So here's exactly what to do. And remember, you need all 3 categories, all at once, not just one. 1. Eat real, whole food. 1 to 3 meals in a 6 to 12 hour window. Meat, vegetables, healthy fats, nuts. 2. Minimize toxin exposure. Filter your water, choose cleaner products, and consider a quality whole food supplement. 3. Move constantly, not just 3 times a week. Stand up, take the stairs, stretch, do a few squats every hour. 4. Add variety and intensity. Mix strength, cardio, and flexibility work weekly to build a more resilient brain. 5. Fix your posture. Be mindful of text neck. Bring your screen up to eye level, not your head down to the screen. 6. Build emotional support daily. Get sunlight, spend time in nature, connect with people who matter, and carve out quiet reflection time. 7. Check in with how you feel. Set a phone alarm as a feelings check. Notice stress in the moment, and interrupt it with a few deep breaths. 8. Consider chiropractic care as part of supporting frontal lobe and nervous system function, not just for back pain relief. Aging fast after 40 isn't a verdict, it's feedback. Your body is telling you exactly where the support is missing. Give it real food, real movement, and real emotional balance, all at the same time, and watch what changes. If this helped you understand your body a little better, hit subscribe and tap that bell. Because next week, I'm breaking down exactly how chronic stress quietly rewires your metabolism and what you can do about it starting today. I'll see you in the next one.